Hello, my name is Kristi, and I am the Adult Services Librarian of the Highland Square Branch Library of the Akron-Summit County Public Library System. And this is our first episode of A to Z with Kristi, where I do book talks about all kinds of things that start with the same letter, whether it's the author or title or subject. And for today's episode, I've been sitting in front of our branch's aquarium. Now, everything we talk about is available through the Akron-Summit County Public Library. And our first book is about airplanes, rather things that can go wrong on them, Flight or Fright. And this is an anthology by Stephen King and Bev Vincent. And it's all kinds of short stories about horrible things that happen while flying. So in the time of a pandemic where a lot of us aren't traveling, it might be a great time to read a horror story about flying. Stephen King put this together because he was afraid of flying himself. Our second story is Arabella by Georgette Heyer. And this is a Regency romance. Now, this author started writing these romances in the 1920s when her brother was ill. And it led to people loving books in this time period and lots of Regency romances being out there. But our main character, Arabella, is a young lady from a poor family going to London for the first time. She runs into trouble with her carriage on the way and stops at the house that is conveniently there that belongs to someone named Mr. Beaumaris. He's a very rich and sophisticated man who thinks she's coming there trying to get his attention on purpose. This leads to her being offended and pretending she herself is a rich lady. And all kinds of misunderstandings happen after that. But what I really like about this book is she tries to help a lot of people. And all of the things she rescues, including a stray dog and a young orphan boy, somehow Mr. Beaumaris ends up taking care of. So this is a really sweet story. Our next one is Angel's Blood by Nalini Singh. And this is the first book in a series. It's a paranormal romance, and it's an alternate world where there's a long-lived race called angels that rule everything. And underneath them are the vampires. Now, when a vampire escapes the angels, they hire the human hunters to bring them back. And our main character is a human hunter, but she gets hired to chase a fallen angel who's a murderer. And so this is part murder mystery, part paranormal, and part romance. So pretty good book. This is Written in Blood by Anne Bishop. It is another alternate Earth-type world where there's a race of elders. They're mysterious. They involve shapeshifters, vampires, and some really old creatures that nobody knows much about. They're called the Others. And our main character has this unique gift that comes at a horrible price where she gets glimpses of the future and she's been exploited her whole life. She's escaped from the people using her and finds unlikely refuge with the Others. And this is what happens after that. This is a dark book with a lot of kind of disturbing things in it. So it's not for everyone, but if you like this genre, you could really enjoy this. The next thing we're going to discuss is John Adams. And this is by David McCullough. This is a very involved biography. It's a Pulitzer Prize winner. And it has a lot of facts about the beginning of our government. But it also has a great deal about his family life, his wife Abigail Adams, and the times, what they were like. So there's all kinds of information in this, and you learn a lot about the time. Some of the struggles they had, like Abigail having to decide to have her family inoculated for smallpox. And at the time, they didn't have the vaccine, so you were inoculated with actual smallpox. Or the struggles they went through when John Adams' daughter had breast cancer. So there's a lot of things that are still relatable to it today. And HBO has made a mini-series of this as well. So you can read the book or watch the mini-series, and both are very good. Now, if you're like me, a lot of times in the stores now you see air fryers, and wonder exactly what the deal is with that. So if you want to try air frying, we have Air Fry Every Day, and this is by Ben Mims. And air frying is basically a way that you can try to make food that tastes fried, but it's a lot healthier. And he has made an effort in this book to come up with a lot of recipes that aren't necessarily what you traditionally think of as fried foods. There's a wide variety of food in here, something to try. We also have Appetites by the late Anthony Bourdain, who traveled the world and explored food, but he put this book together to be what he would have made as his family cookbook. And it has kind of inconsistent chapters because it has a chapter on breakfast but not lunch or dinner. It has a chapter on Thanksgiving but not other holidays. And it has a chapter called Fight that has one recipe in it. And that one recipe is what his family likes to eat when they're doing a lot of jujitsu. So this is what he considers his family cookbook. He has a traditional family because of his traveling, and he didn't become a father till his 50s. So this is what he considers normal food for his family. Now, if you like animals, we have the Atlas of Poetic Zoology by Emmanuel Popedy. And this is a book that has a lot of information about specific animals, but it also has beautiful illustrations. And I'm going to show you a picture here to give you an example of what the chapters in here are like. And we have here the poison dart frog. It's called Fatal Beauty. So every chapter in this book has information about a particular type of animal and beautiful illustrations as well. And it's written in a very, almost storytelling way. So it's a book where you learn a lot, but also see a lot of beauty. Now, if you are like me during this pandemic, you probably have a closet of half-finished projects. I have 2 crocheted Afghans that are half done. Why I started the second one without finishing the first one, I don't know. But we have all kinds of books on knitting and crocheting and other crafts. We've got 40 colorful Afghans here, and we also have rainbow crocheted Afghans. And one of these is more just basic Afghans, and one of these is how you make squares or circles and put them together. But you can either start working on projects you haven't finished or come and learn how to learn new things from all kinds of books at the library. We have this magazine called Art Journaling, and I didn't know what art journaling was at first, but it's kind of making a visual journal. And it can be words and art, or it can even just be art that's telling the story of how you're feeling. But this periodical both gives you tips of how to do art journaling and a lot of examples from people's art journals. So this is what we're covering today. I hope you found something you liked in what I have shared with you. If you are a person who is staying home because of the pandemic, we have all kinds of things available through our digital library. You can check that out at akronlibrary.org or just call us at 330-376-2927 and we'll get you started. Or if you don't want to come in our building, we do have curbside pickup. So you can just arrange to call us when you get here. We bring everything out for you. So we'll be very flexible at trying to help you get what you need during this time. Thank you for listening. If you have your own favorite titles or books or authors that start with A, feel free to post them after this entry because I'd love to hear what you like. Thank you and have a great day.